Since the outbreak of the coronavirus in 2020, biotech stocks have surged in interest, with some soaring more than 3,000% higher in just a matter of months. Biotech companies use technology to develop products to improve lives and the health of people. Whether it's finding a vaccine for a disease, enhancing agricultural processes to use less energy, or using biofuels to cut greenhouse gas emissions, biotechnology companies are now at the forefront of investors' minds, which is why learning how to invest in biotech stocks is now hugely important. So in this episode, you will learn what biotech stocks are and why you should invest in them, benefits and disadvantages of investing in biotech stocks, stages of biotech stocks, and much more. What are biotech stocks? Biotech stocks are publicly traded companies that develop pharmaceutical drugs used in the treatment of disease. Examples of biotech stocks include popular brands like Gilead Sciences, Johnson & Johnson, Merck, and other lesser-known companies whose product is still in the early stages of development. Benefits of investing in biotech stocks. 1. Potential for massive profits. Investment in biotech stocks has the potential for massive profits. As of now, the prices of most biotech stocks are under $5 per share. If a biotech company successfully launches a vaccine that cures COVID-19, the price of the shares of that company will skyrocket. 2. The population is aging. Everyone grows old. As our population ages, our demand for drugs and vaccines also rises. By the year 2060, it's estimated that there will be double the amount of older persons living in the United States. Smart investors would capitalize on this demographic and make money. 3. Better understanding of medicine. Investment in biotech stocks will make you better understand the subject of medicine and improve your overall health. As with other investments, there are drawbacks of investing in biotech stocks. Let's take a look at some of them. 1. Clinical failure. Clinical trials are the most important steps of getting a new drug approved for marketing. But when a company fails a clinical trial, the results can become very undesirable for investors. Depotux M, Ellenbestat, and Emery Kassan are some of the top biotech companies that failed clinical trials in 2019. 2. Commercial failures. Another disadvantage of investing in biotech stocks is commercial failures. A biotech company may have a promising product, yet failure can still happen. This kind of failure would make the company and investors in general to lose their money. For example, in 2017, CureVac, Innate Pharma, and Actelion experienced commercial failures in Europe. 3. Requires time. Biotechnology investing also requires plenty of time spent learning about companies in the space, usually more than what's required for other forms of investment. Additionally, the regulators could reject the development of medication at any time, delaying potential returns. 4. Poor financial foundations. Many of the biotech companies are struggling with poor financial foundations. Their products are still in the early stage awaiting approvals, and as such, producing no revenue. For them to stay afloat, they are at the mercy of the investing public. For example, in 2008, Oramed Pharmaceuticals Inc. sought for Big Pharma's financial help to carry out human trials of an oral form of insulin. Wondering what biotech companies have the best stocks for you to invest in 2020? Then subscribe to this channel. Development stages. Now you know the benefits and disadvantages of investing in biotech stocks. Let's take a look at the 5 stages of a biotech company and what stage is best for you to invest in. 1. Research and discovery stage. This is the most risky stage to make any investment. Biotech companies in this stage have a big plan, but they have no product to bring to the market. Because of this, they find it difficult to be enlisted on major exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange or Nasdaq. Some risks associated with the research and discovery stage biotech stocks are: these companies are usually focused on research, which may not always bring forth results or a viable product. These companies lack the capital to carry out research that would be approved by the FDA. There are a lot of fraudsters parading as early-stage biotech stocks, strategizing on how to scam unsuspecting investors. 2. Preclinical stage. The next stage of the development is the preclinical stage biotech companies. These companies have already successfully concluded their early stage research that has led to the development of a product for clinical trials on humans. The most important risks of investing in this stage of biotech stocks include preclinical failure. If there is a preclinical failure after testing a drug, it is a red flag for investors. Capital requirements. As with the research and discovery stage we talked about earlier, it also requires huge capital to fund the preclinical trial. Remember, they have no product yet to generate money to foot the bill. Regulatory hurdles. Biotech companies in this stage require the approval of regulatory authorities before they can proceed to the next stage. If the regulatory authority, like the US Food and Drug Administration (FDA), decline approval, the value of the stock of the company will fall. 3. Early clinical stage. These companies have a tangible product they want to bring to the market, and they have already obtained regulatory authorities' approval for experimental testing on humans. At this point, there are 3 main phases of clinical studies, but companies in the midst of the first 2 phases are considered early clinical stage biotech companies. Phase 1 clinical trials. This trial is focused on the safety of the drugs on humans. Phase 2 clinical trials. This phase is to test the efficiency of the drugs. The risks involved in investing in this phase of biotech stocks are the same as that of early clinical stage biotech stocks. 4. Late clinical stage. This is phase 3 of the clinical trials. This phase is meant to validate the earlier clinical studies to be eligible for approval. Some risks involved in this phase are clinical failure. Clinical failure also happens at the stage of product development. Once there is a clinical failure, it signals a red flag for the average investor. Capital requirements. Clinical trials in this stage of product development are capital intensive. As such, biotech companies in this category may want to cut corners to proceed to the next stage. 5. Commercial stage biotech stock. Commercial stage biotech stocks are the big names in the industry. After some back and forth with regulatory authorities, following the filing of approval, a drug is either approved or rejected. If the product is approved, the process of the product commercialization now begins. Commercializing the product entails hiring a sales force to market the product to doctors, developing direct-to-consumer campaigns to target patients, and negotiating with insurance companies so that patients can get access to the drugs through their insurance plans. The following are the risks involved in this stage. Commercial failure. A commercial drug can fail if a competitor performs better than it. For instance, if its share value climbed to $50 immediately after the regulator's approval, the value can fall back to $2 if it fails commercially. Early commercial capital requirements. The capital required to promote the product is highly intensive. As such, investors may not want to invest at this point. Wondering what are the best biotech stocks to buy in 2020? Here are the top 4 biotech stocks we have researched for you. Axum Therapeutics, Bluebird Bio, Novavax, Vertex Pharmaceuticals. That's it for this episode. If you found the information here useful, hit that like button. And if you want to support us even more, buy us a coffee from the link in the description. If you'd like to see more episodes on financial advice, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications for our latest updates. Good luck and see you in the next episode.